No. Mark. We're running a bit. Yeah, g'day, Mark. Yeah, I see you up there. Thank you. We're a wee bit ahead of time, so thank you for being here early. Thank you for coming in.
My apologies, I wasn't quite prepared to be so early. Mayor and councillors, thank you for the opportunity. We'd just like to acknowledge the work and professionalism of the council's heritage team, and we request the councils pass on our appreciation of their work. In addition, we consider Canterbury Stories and the website to be a successful initiative, and we commend the council for funding this project, and hopefully, I haven't seen specifically that they will continue funding it. I recently attended a workshop, and it was actually a really, really good workshop, the way they conducted it. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity to work with the community, and it's something I'm quite happy to tell the rest of Canterbury about, and have done so on many, many occasions. We also draw attention that the Toi Arioha Rolleston House Community Arts Facility we consider a great adaptive reuse. We've argued in the past on many submissions to Community Board and to this council that we should go to the community first to see if there's a use for any of the heritage buildings for adaptive reuse. And I think the council's default position should be, first up, go to the community before you seek other options. I know in one case of one particular building where, right on the discussion, that I understand, I listened to the staff presentation on that one, they thought the first option was demolition. And so they went through that process because they considered that was the logical conclusion. I'm not sure because of our intervention, but that building is now, I understand, up for the plan change and is due to be scheduled for protection. So we think going to the community first is a good thing, and this is a great example of this one as well. As regards, we've noticed the council's got, as regards the old student union, which has been referred to as the old Ducks, the Larks, the council's having discussions with the Arts Centre Board. We encourage that according to what we understand with the press, and we think it's a great option. One of our reasons that we think it's a better option for the board to be repairing its own building, and it makes any commercial lease a lot simpler from there on in our negotiations. The only suggestion we could make in regard to this, has the council considered extending the targeted rate that applies to the Arts Centre? I mean, it's there already. Extending it would enable, and the board could then borrow against it, and it may not fulfil or use the entire rate, and they could continue. They could actually start repairing the building, whether that could be a consideration. Related to that, you'll see that we've got some attached documents, a take from a PowerPoint presentation from Donovan Rickema, who was a building economist. He's a fairly unsentimental building economist. In other words, heritage has got to work as an economic performer, not because of sentimentality. And we just included those because some of them are very interesting. Like an example, in Norway, only 6% of money spent, only 6% to 10% of money spent by heritage is actually spent on the site. The remaining site is spent off-site, so they're literally facilitating. And the following page on Mount Vernon, we draw your attention to that heritage visitors visit twice as many places and spend 2.5 times as much money per trip than non-heritage visitors. We've included those in there because we considered it important. And we've got other details that as well, the importance of heritage as a facilitator for money and the type of tourist that attracts. In addition, you'll have noticed we've got a number of commentaries. We've also got a request in the process of the historic Canterbury Provincial Council buildings that we support the council doing something about that, finally facilitating something. And we just request that the public be involved right at the beginning of any discussions about the building, its future, etc., and the process of repair and how you're going to go about that process of repair. We think it's important. The reason we ask this is this building is we've been concerned, is those of us who are slightly long on the tooth, we had concerns about the approach of the old municipal building where it was put into a tendering process and the public was excluded because the tendering process had a commercial privatisation and privacy issues. So therefore the public was excluded from that process. We think the public should be involved in that process as much as possible in this one. It's an internationally significant building of international significance, so we consider the council has custody of this building, and therefore the public should be aware of what's going on with this international treasure. That's all I can cover in the 5 minutes, but thank you for the opportunity.
Yep, your timing is impeccable. Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. Thank you. Good to see you again. So we've got Ross here, have we? I think. Yep.